Have you ever recorded someone's abuse and actually saw justice served? I was sitting in biology class when I felt a familiar but unwanted hand slide along my back. My breath hitched and I screamed, "Jason, stop!" Jason smirked and laughed while turning to his friends. "Make me." His reply was cocky like usual. This was the third time he had done something like this, and I was on the verge of breaking down. Jason was the principal's son, and so popular among the students that basically anything he did went under the radar. For some reason, he had chosen me as the new target of his harassment, even though I had never talked to him. I had talked to teachers, counselors, even his friends, and all of them told to enjoy it like his harassment was some type of privilege. One day when he pushed me against a vending machine as I was trying to get a drink, I finally had enough. I started secretly recording his abusive behavior. I would voice record him every time he'd catcall me and tell me I should wear skimpier clothes. I screenshotted every disgusting text he sent me, messages like, "We should totally fuck tonight," or "I know you're probably touching yourself right now." Things like that would have landed any other boy in straight-up prison, but Jason unsidered this normal. One day he snapped and dragged me to the janitor's closet by my arm. I only had my phone with me, so I turned on the camera and pointed it right at his face, thinking it'd protect me. He looked right at it and arrogantly said, "You think your little phone will save you? Go ahead, show it to daddy. He'll just pat me on the back and tell me to be more discreet." That night I didn't sleep, and kept thinking about whether or not I wanted to tolerate this behavior for the next 3 years. But reading an article online about a girl talking about her creepy neighbor, and watching the support she was getting, gave me the courage I needed. The next morning, I walked right into the principal's office thinking maybe he already knew everything, and had decided to ignore it since Jason was his son, but I was doing this anyway. In his office, I played all the video files and handed him printed screenshots. I braced myself for the evident dismissal, but as the principal reviewed the content, his face darkened. "I am so sorry, young lady. This is not how I raised my son. I promise you I will not let this slide." I was stunned. I sighed with relief when he told me to go back to class while he called an emergency board meeting with Jason as an attendee. A day later, the school board convened and the principal himself presented the damning evidence against his own son. Jason was left in shock as his vile actions were brought out in the open. He yelled, "Dad, come on! Boys will be boys, right? You're the one who told me that. You've got to take my side." But his desperation fell on deaf ears when his dad said, "I'm extremely ashamed and suggest that this student should be suspended immediately." Jason was sent home while they deliberated on him, and the board actually tried to persuade the principal into letting this matter go with detention. But thankfully he didn't budge, and a few hours later Jason was suspended indefinitely. I actually felt safe walking down the halls knowing that he was no longer there, and hoped that he would never return. But 3 days later, Jason showed up at my doorstep, and fear gripped me once more. I thought for sure that he had stalked me and was here to settle the score. But then I noticed he was holding an envelope and that his head was completely shaved. He kept looking at my feet as he spoke. "I'm sorry for what I did to you. I'm leaving for military school tomorrow. My dad has made it clear I need to learn respect and accountability." Then he handed me the apology letter and quietly walked away. There wasn't any excuse in the letter, just straight up acknowledgement of his actions and apologies. I felt at peace knowing that my efforts hadn't been in vain, and will forever be thankful for our principal.